Monday again, a musical tribute to President Obama. I'm Carbon Decode.
Barack Obama. People walking around with heavy hearts. Feels like this nation's been torn apart. Bills piling up and the tension's high. Some days it's hard just to look at the sky. We've been divided, we've been losing. And if the promises they made us, they won't keep. But late at night when the doubt sets in, I close my eyes and think of Barack Obama. And if the promises they made us, they won't keep. But late at night when the doubt sets in, I close my eyes and think of Barack Obama again. Remember what it felt like when hope was more than just a word, it was medicine. The country's going through it right now. We're trying to find our way somehow. But Barack Obama, when we think about what you brought us through, what you were about, grace and dignity, hope in your eyes, you made us believe we could all rise. I believe.
Hey guys, giving honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because he's so worthy to be acknowledged and praised on this day and any other day. Wouldn't you guys agree? Because what do I always say? Without God, there could be no me, no you, no us, no this. Guys, today I'm coming to you and I'm talking about things that happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it was a black built town and owned by the townspeople. And I know it's a little out the norm for me to be bringing this up today, but I just want to let you know how, when you listen to people and the internet is so blatant about this, voicing their opinions about how they feel about certain groups of people. For us black folks, they say a lot of people prejudice folks, not all people of different colors, but I'm saying prejudiced people that speak on these behalves. They say we're lazy, we're dumb, we don't have any get up and go about us. We don't know how to succeed. We don't know how to build. We don't know we're not educated enough. We're not well spoken enough, which all of that is a lie, right? And these are generational things, I call them curses, that's been handed down to certain folks' homes and their religion. Some of it is there. They've been brought up around, they feel like they're Christians. But if they were true Christians, God followers, they wouldn't have hate in them. That's not of the same color skin as them. And they can just, this is a part of their life. This is generation hate that has been taught down and down the line. So I'm speaking on it today because it affects a lot of my people. So we're going to be talking today about Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was considered the Black Wall Street. And a lot of our black people got together and they made this town. And it was like 100, it was like so many different stores and different business establishments. They had restaurants, they had meat market, dentists, doctors, they had movie theaters. They had everything in this town, right? And guess what happened? And the saddest part about this, before I even say what happened, before I get into my story, a lot of our black children, a lot of our children in general is not taught this in school. And they're constantly trying to knock down our history as if by them knocking it down, it didn't exist. And they're afraid if they speak on certain things, considering slavery and the things that our black people went through, that it's a little too harsh. It's going to make some people sad. What do we think about the people that had to endure it? So let me just explain to you about this situation. Today we're going to be talking again about black-owned businesses, which was called the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's get to the story. Black Wall Street. Well, the residents and entrepreneurs built the Greenwood District. Black-owned built the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, starting in 1906. Founded by visionary black landowners like O.W. Gurley. This 40-block area flourished as a self-contained, prosperous economic hub, famously dubbed, again, the Black Wall Street, by Booker T. Washington. The rise and fall of Greenwood. Built over 100 towns. Foundation wealthy black entrepreneurs bought and sold land exclusively to African American settlers. Segregation laws inadvertently forced black residents to trade within their own community. So the banks helped them get a loan per se, but they had to only trade within their own community, creating a thriving, self-sustaining economy. The Golden Age by the early 1920s, the district boasted over 600 black-owned businesses, including banks, luxury hotels, movie theaters, doctor offices, and lavish residences. Deadliest radical massacres in history. The thriving African American community suffered one of the most devastating losses, as I say, in history for black people. In 1921 destruction, on May 31st to June 1st, 1921, a deputized white mob burned the district to the ground in the Tulsa Race Massacre, unaliving estimate of 300 people and leaving up to 10,000 people homeless. Where to learn more about the Tulsa Historical Society and Museum. Explore exhibits, photos, and historical archives detailing the exact timeline and artifacts of Greenwood before and after the massacre. Okay, so like I said, this was a town that they built. And then I was just, going through the pictures, looking at the town, and oh my God, it was such a beautiful town. And can you imagine having your own little area and everybody trading, and you can go to your own doctor, your own pharmaceutical, your own church, your own bank. This is what they had established for themselves. It wasn't about, just being separated from other folks per se, like that's what they wanted to do. But whenever they were trying to start businesses or do things, it was always torn down. Because what? Because of the color of your skin. So they were allowed to build this town, which from hate, it was torn down. Okay, so but I went online and I asked, to GP, Copilot, whoever you want to call them. I said, why is there hate and diversity in the world when it comes to certain groups of people not accepting black people? Short answer. Hate and lack of acceptance towards black people exists because racism was built into global systems over centuries through slavery, colonialism, pseudoscience, and laws, and those ideas didn't disappear even after those systems were dismantled. They continue today through cultural biases, unequal institutions, and inherited beliefs. See, this is a generational thing. This hate goes beyond just a certain group of people at a specific time in life. This is generational things. They go down and they pass it on to their children and they pass it to their children. That's what this all wind up to be. And that's why so much hate in the world now, even back from slavery days, And it says racism isn't natural. It's constructed by societies for specific purposes. The sources below show that anti-black racism grew out of power, economics, and false beliefs, not anything inherited by black people. Pseudoscience is a collection of beliefs, theories, or practices mistakenly regarded as being as being based on the scientific method, despite inherently lacking empirical evidence, testability, or rigorous peer review. It attempts to imitate genuine science to appear legitimate, but fails to meet established scientific standards. And you know what's really sad? I wonder how many of our children know about this town, that this town exists, that our people had a town and they built it on their own and they were proud of it. But because of hate, it was torn down. It wasn't torn down, it was burnt down. A lot of people lost their lives. Over 300 people lost their lives. Over 10,000 people were homeless because of the act of some hatred people. They don't teach this in school. It's not being taught to our children in school. But what's so sad about it is that hate can consume people so much that it make them act radical and it make them do things. And at the time, maybe the hate is so fueled up in them that they don't care or they don't think about the consequences that's going to happen to the people that they do it to, because none of them got scolds for it. None of them went to jail for it. None of them went before court and tried to plead their case and say why they did certain things to a certain group of people. This is how society has always been when it comes to our people. So much injustice. So much injustice. And people can look and say, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad because maybe it's not happening to you. It is that bad. A lot of us leave here under circumstances that people call it, oh, that must have been an accident, or oh, I can't believe somebody did that. It happens. But when it doesn't happen to you, you don't look at it in the same light. I just wonder, will my grandchildren get to see that we too stand for something? You know, we as black people, we have to really sit with our children. Take them to our black museums before they try to take all those down. Take them to places that's going to educate our children. Because sometimes you got to know where you've been before you can move forward. And a lot of us, some of us want to bury things and act like they never happened. Or some of us are advocates and we want to speak out about it because it's the truth. And some people might say, well, it happened years ago. Get over it. Let it go. No, you can't get over and let it go, because guess what? In modern day time, it's still happening in a different form of fashion, but it's still happening. We still have prejudices. We still have places that we're not allowed to go. You have sundown towns. You have towns that, you know, after the sun go down, you better not be there if you're black. So this needs to be taught to our children. They're trying to erase our history. And if we don't wake up people, the more they do it, the more it's expunged. And our children will never know where we came from. And I don't think it should be forgotten, because it's a lesson in a history that should be taught to our ones that's coming up now. Don't let it die. Don't let it just get buried in the mud or get buried in the grave with the people that had to endure it. Let's speak about it. Let's talk to our children about it to let them know. No, you don't want them to walk around and being prejudiced and hate a certain group of people, but let them know about our history. The American history for white folks is all over the place, and I'm not being prejudiced. I'm speaking the truth. But when it comes to our history, our black history, we're supposed to keep it quiet, hush, hush about that, girl. Don't bring that up. That happened years ago. Okay. So do we let history repeat itself, or do we talk to our children to let them know? Yeah, certain places you're not supposed to be. And it's sad, because you're supposed to go wherever the good Lord made this world, and in different places for us to go. You're supposed to be able to go there just like the next person. But in reality, in the crooked, nasty place and world that we live in today, and it's not the world, it's the people of the world. The bigots, the prejudiced people, the people that's so caught up in their deranged minds that they think that they were the only ones that were supposed to come here. Our children, our generation that's coming up now need to know this. I bet you a lot of them don't even know about Tulsa, Oklahoma. The black town that our people built and was proud of it. But you know what? They hate to see that you're coming up, or they hate to see that you're getting one up on them. No, keep them down here. And I look at, YouTube. Sometimes, I'm a person that's on YouTube, make a little money here and there from it. But it pisses me off when I see people on YouTube and it's still so much hate, so much rage, so much diversity. People feel like, okay, I hear them saying, oh, let's get the black people to work in the farms. Let me tell you something. This generation of black folks that's coming up now, we are not our ancestors. And I say that not to knock our ancestors or put them down for what they had to endure, because they had to endure it. These kids coming up nowadays, these black children, they're not going to accept that. It's sad when you can't go to a certain place because of the color of your skin that the good Lord brought you into this world with. You shouldn't have to justify your skin tone for anybody, no matter what color you are. You shouldn't have to not be able to go into a town or be out of there before the sun goes down because you might not make it out of that town. So it's sad that us black mothers and us black fathers, we have to tell our children, keep your ID on you. When a cop stop you, speak with poise, speak with, clarity. Don't speak with a heavy tone or like you're trying to dismantle what they're saying to you. It's sad that we have to teach our children this, because if we don't, they won't come home. We're living in a cruel world now, and I follow God and I'm a believer in God. A lot of things in the Bible I don't know about. I read the Bible. I've read the Bible, and I read the Bible every day. I make it my mission to get up every morning before I pick up a phone, before I start doing Deborah tasks. I get up and I read my Bible because I need that shield over me. I need that armor of protection. And most of all, I need God's guidance. It's in Ephesians, keep on the full armor of God, the helmet of salvation, a breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, the belt of truth, and the shoes of goodness. We have to keep that shield on us because it's hate out there. It's so much going on in the world today. If you don't stay guarded, if you don't have the shields on you to protect you from this wickedness and all these things that's going on in the world today, you will get caught up in this mess. We're living in a world today where AI is taking over. They're saying aliens are here. It's so many different things that's going on. It's enough to drive someone crazy. And I feel like because I have a belief in God, and that's what gets me through things that I go through in the world sometimes. Sometimes I cry. I don't understand why we go through the things we go through. I believe my faith and my strong belief in God gets me through. I just feel for our children. I really do. Certain groups of people, white folks, all different type of people are coming at black people. Why are you in this place? Not knowing some of us live in certain places. Well, let me see where you live at. Or which apartment are you going to? Or why are you on this street? I wish I would be in a neighborhood like that and they ask me, why am I here? Why are you here? The good Lord didn't just make this just for you and yours. He made it for everybody. Your high horse and stop thinking I owe you an answer, because I don't. I never was prejudiced, and I don't claim to be. I'm speaking up for people, my race, because we're being done so wrong, and it's so sad. I'm gonna leave you with this. It's really sad. It really is. But what we endure and what our kinfolks had to endure back in the day, these children nowadays, I'll repeat, they're not going through it. They're not going to have it. Black people are tired of being put down because of the color that our ancestors gave us and the good Lord gave us. We shouldn't have to answer a question to you about anything concerning our race. We shouldn't have to be afraid to walk into a certain store or a certain nightclub or a certain bar or a certain church without getting ridiculed. Or, I heard one preacher say, if you're not Baptist, you're not allowed in this church. And then with the churches nowadays, they going through so much. And it's, God is looking at us, and I know he's sick of us. The devil is reigning out here. The Bible spoke of it, that it will be here in the last days. And it's really showing this and rearing its ugly head. And a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon of the enemy. But I'm going to tell you something. You got to realize God sits high and he looks low. And he sees everything that we go through. What you do in the dark, it shall come to the light. And if you hide and wearing your white cloak on top of you, and then you go into your office in the daytime and, acting like you're not this type of person, like you're not prejudiced, everything that's done under the sun will come to the light. That's done in the darkness will come to the light. For mocking God. They better stop. He's not one to be played with. Like I said before, the pastors and the preachers, they're trying to be celebrities. They're all on the internet showing their wealth. They just come to the pulpit to holler for $1. People are mocking God. Nobody wants to serve God anymore. But you're sitting out there on the corners waiting to give your time, your space, your energy, and literally your soul to the enemy, which is the devil. We're living in a world, everybody want to just choose God when it's beneficial for them. And you know I speak on this a lot. Whenever we get a diagnosis, whenever we want something from God, oh God, if you will get me through this, if you can see me through this, I will serve you. You know what? God don't need you to serve him if you don't want to, because he got something for you. But I'm going to tell you something. These people out here that spewing all this hate and calling people out and doing things to people that they know they have no business doing because of their color of their skin, you will pay one day. Trust me and believe me. That little stuff you doing in the dark and you think nobody see you, it will be brought to the light. I just wish my grandchildren didn't have to see a world like this today. You know, we thought we was evolving, coming so far from where our ancestors and what been to and what they've been through. Who are so bold now they really feel they can say and do anything they want to without being accountable for what they said. Because of somebody that's in the political arena, they just feel like it's a go for all. Everybody can say and do to you what they feel that they can say and do to you because of the color of your skin. But like I say, everybody is up for a rude awakening. I'm going to serve God. I don't want no parts of this nasty, corrupted world. Out of certain places I don't go, I don't hang, I don't indulge in because I don't want to. I feel something is brewing, and I speak of this a lot. I feel that it's time for us as people to come together and get it right. There's no time for prejudice, no time for judging, no time for pointing fingers at one another. Don't succumb to the enemy, because the stuff that he will give you the world on a silver platter, and he'll make it look so good and enticing. And then once he grab you and he connect your spirit and let you know that, oh wow, look at all these things, I can do, and I don't have to answer for nothing that I'm doing, then he'll throw you away. Because once he use you and you're of no good use to him anymore, he'll throw you away. He don't need you. He improved this point. He ain't made you lose your soul. He already know where he going. But why not take a couple along with me? That's his philosophy. Because all this shall pass. But are you going to die in your sins? Or are you going to ask God for forgiveness and turn from your wicked ways? God bless you all, because we're living in some trying times, guys. It's time to get it together before it's too late. And once it's too late, when you stand before your Father on Judgment Day, it's too late. You already lost that. I'm not hateful. I'm not angry. I'm a child of God. But you do get tired of the injustice in this world. And you just want it all to stop. I'm praying for my people. I'm praying for everybody. But one day, God said, vengeance is mine. And I'm going to hold on to that. Father God, please forgive me for speaking my mind. I'm just so hurt. I'm so tired of the injustice. I just want my people to be free. And I'm passionate about this because it hurts my heart that what my people had to go through, what they built up so hard, trying to build things up, and was torn down in an instant.